Welcome back, everybody. As you can see, we're starting out on a little bit of a different take. We now have the world on a server with a special thanks to one great viewer with a fantastic donation and comment and all that kind of stuff, giving me enough funds to basically get this server for at least the next 6 months, and we'll go from there as we go. And because of your guys' support in December as well, this has really allowed me to do even more on that front. We are back in the world here today. Nothing too different, I don't think. I've set up the compressor as well down here. Same kind of thing, nothing too interesting there. We just are running a whole bunch of interfaces and getting it all done. So, we finally stored up all the EU. That's good. Okay. So, one other thing that I've worked on is something that a lot of people have actually commented on. Episode 48 or 47 or whatever, and you're still eating gelatinous slime drops. You got a problem with my gelatinous slime? Huh? Do you? Do you have a problem with my gelatinous slime? Because I tell you, nothing wrong with it. It's good for you. Oh, God. Where did you come from? Jeez Louise. Don't do that to me. Gee. Oh, scary. All right. But anyways, we are definitely working our way through a whole bunch of stuff across the board. But I have prepared... Is it sleepy time yet? No, it's still raining, though. That's great. Rain is just fantastic, isn't it? Things are becoming a little bit more plain Jane around here. Overall, most of our stuff's now become auto-crafting, so I'm very excited about that. But let's head on over to the greenhouse area, where I have... There's a creeper around somewhere. He disappeared. It's fine. Where I have updated yet again these harvesters. We have flex-plated fluid ducts so that they can get their power, and they're good to go on that front across the board. I should actually just plant more stuff down, to be honest. But down below, I've made a crazy machine. So, without further ado, let me show you the bacon cheeseburger Kryllyk extraordinaire. Unofficial name. Alright? But yeah, so this get up here. Now, I know you can do it a lot more compact and all that kind of stuff. I've seen others do it more compactly. But I wanted to use some logistics pipes in here as well. And we already had the power in the area anyways, so we might as well have used it. But yeah, so this guy is basically automatically sorting all of the loot that these harvesters are giving us and farming. And we're using the wheat and soybeans mainly to produce bacon cheeseburgers. Yes, that is correct. All right. So, as you can see, things are just coming on through. We're getting cinder pearls coming through. That looks like another cinder pearl. But basically, right up here is going to be wheat. You saw it there for a split second. Now, one of the things that this system uses a ton of is transfer nodes with world interaction upgrades, okay? Now, putting a world interaction upgrade on a crafting table will search the 3x3 or the 9 blocks behind the crafting table for potential auto crafting recipes. So, for example, wheat turns into wheat flour, which then can be smelted into bread. See, wheat flour getting smelted into bread. Bread is being smelted into toast, okay? Now, I do have the trivection chambers on here, so we get increased food output as well for the toast. So we're going to have a ton of toast overall. So that is basically one of the first steps to making the first hamburger. So that's just getting it put into the barrel, like so. Over here, I have a logistics pipe system. I had a chassis. I was trying a couple different things, but we just have an item sink for soybeans, which we are plumb out of. Interesting. Well, that is a bit of a problem. Okay. Soybean. Yeah. I don't know if we're actually making enough soybeans to make this thing last, so We might have to pipe in some from another farm somewhere else or something like that. But as you can see, soybeans will go into that chest right there automatically, and then it gets distributed out to each of the 4 pressers up here. Okay? Boom, and the 4th. All right, now those we have. Let's worry about the tofu first, okay? So 2 of those down here. You can see that I have this one blanked off, but 2 of those are making firm tofu, and that is getting outputted to this barrel right here for firm tofu. Very good. And last but not least, this system uses a lot of mini chests. Now, mini chests are great because it can only hold 1 stack or 1 item if it doesn't stack. So, for example, here we have the skillet. So if we look up the hamburger, boom, it requires a skillet, toast, and firm tofu. Okay, so we have those 3 things right here, good to go, and we have the same crafting table set up there. And as you can see, we have about 456 hamburgers ready to go in this barrel. You can see it with Wayla. You can't actually see it because I covered it with a chest, but you can see it in Wayla. We have 456 right there at the top of the screen. And then we need to make, so hamburgers are great, but then we need to make cheeseburgers. So to make cheese, we needed to do a whole different setup. All right, so to make cheese, you need salt and some sort of a milk. Now, I am debating changing this still. Right now, I'm using soy milk. So this one presser here is just pressing down soy milk, and the soy milk is heading on down, and then that with a pot is going to make you cheese. Okay, and you'll see a cheese go over there, and then it's making a cheeseburger over here. So cheese is kind of our holdup here, but we still have the holdup of the tofu anyways. So it's one of those things. Now, to make the salt, I debated just piping it in from our other system, but you can actually make salt in this pack. And all that I'm doing is an autonomous activator, getting a bucket of water, pretty straightforward, right? And outputting that into this item buffer so that it is an inventory that we can use. So a bucket of water plus a pot is going to make you salt. Pretty straightforward, right? So cheese and hamburger gets auto-crafted into a cheeseburger. And here again we have more tofu. So this is the 3rd line here. And the tofu comes in, and then we get the bacon cheeseburger. Nice. Very, very nice. Now, I'm sure if I were to do a few more improvements to this system, we could actually use it for our culinary generators. That is a goal of mine down the road. But for right now, we're just going to use it to eat some delicious cheeseburgers. Love it. If you have any other questions on the system, feel free to leave a comment down below. Lots of information here, and I hope I explained it correctly. There's like I said, more compact or organized ways that you could probably do this. But for right now, this is the way that I came up with. It's working. I'm happy. We will get it to continue to work. All right. Okay. So there is our bacon cheeseburger maker. Because, I mean, who doesn't love a burger, right? And next, we need to get working on the next bit of auto processing. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, great. What is that crazy Canadian up to again? More logistics pipes, more industrial craft 2. Indeed. So what I'm trying to do here is take all of our uranium. So we have basically an export bus only saying uranium to end up in this chest from our system. So all uranium will end up in that chest right there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to automatically process it into uranium, this guy here, and then auto-craft it into the fuel rod of uranium. All right? Hopefully that makes sense for you. But that is my plan, okay? So we're starting off here. We have the uranium. Just in these guys, we're going to do an item sync with uranium ore and an extract of the crushed uranium ore. This guy here, same thing, crushed and an extract. Well, I haven't done that part yet. We'll throw that in the ore washing plant. I do have to get overclockers and everything else for this as well. But this guy here, the ore washing plant, provides additional materials. And I think the lead and stone dust is probably just going to end up being like voided. I honestly believe that. I don't think there's any need for me to really keep it around. We have far too much lead, and stone dust is, yeah, we have 500 of it. I guess we could keep maybe like a chest of it or something like that. Maybe I'll get just a simple chest, and that guy will be that, and then we'll get a trash can for fluids. Energy? Why would you ever want a trash can energy? That makes no sense. Alright, good. So then we will just have just a simple chest and a trash can somewhere along the line here for the things like the tiny pile of lead dust and stone dust. So all of these three items are going to get extracted. Boom, this guy purified the dust and the tiny piles of lead. Okay, good. We will set up these guys a little bit later on. But then from the ore washing plant, it needs to go into the thermionic, the centrifuge, right? This guy right here, the thermal centrifuge. We'll take that while we're here. Oh God, that's trouble. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that. Oh well, it's going in our ME system. I could die here. Just saying. There's the chance. Yeah, plutonium. Oh God. Okay, click. Ow, 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 ow. Oh my God, 8 minutes of radiation? I am so dead. Greenhouse, save me. Greenhouse, please. Save me. Save me. I need soy milk. I had some right there. I just saw it. Good. Okay. Drink. Thanks. That doesn't get rid of it. Blast. Okay. Well, I mean, we have our hazmat on. I don't think we're losing health anymore, so we're good there. It's just going to be rather annoying for 7 minutes. Oh, dear. Not at all what I had planned. Not at all. All right, I'll be back when this is over. Oh man, thank God that is over. Holy cow, that was a long time, but I took advantage. I uploaded another video. All right. Okay, so the thermal centrifuge is then going to be next. And that guy's going to go right there, like so. And same kind of setup as before. So we're going to have an MK2? Yeah, an MK2 on there with an item sink and an extractor. Now, the item sink is going to be purified, crushed uranium, and of course, the output is going to be the things that come from it. So, we'll let this guy heat up and do all that jazz while we wait. Yeah, I think we're good to go otherwise. I think we can do both. I'm not too concerned about having backlog here. I think that it would still work either way. And then this, and of course we need to get some gold pipes and stuff as well. So, we could probably also get a quick lever while we're down here. Boom, and waiting. And that way we can keep this guy forever nice and hot. Okay, good. And that should always keep the heat building no matter what. So, in between us not having uranium, we should still be at full heat for the thing. Okay? Good. It doesn't take very long to heat up at least, so that's great. Now this is going to give us the tiny piles of uranium, the uranium-238 I think it is, and what else? I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So it's going to give us 2 outputs that we can then use to start with some of our auto crafting of the uranium cell. Alright, so we're back. I'm bringing you back in at this point because we've done a decent amount here, and I kind of want to explain it. So, for the most part, we're making a whole bunch of enriched uranium nuclear fuel cells with a cyclic assembler is what I decided to use. Might as well, Pretty straightforward, not overly difficult at all. And then the enriched uranium is going right there. Now, all of this process, you guys saw the thermal centrifuge and all that kind of stuff come into play here. And we're running into a few issues in terms of just the responses of the machines. I need to get the balance down perfect, but we're pretty much also out of power. And that's the whole reason why we're making this, so not a huge deal overall. I also set up a metal former, and this guy is set to export with a crafting card, and it's basically saying do not use any stocked items, only craft items while exporting. So every time it should be crafting a new iron plate. That iron plate should then be going up into the ME system, then coming down into the metal former. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. And just a quick little translocator over to a mini chest, because I only want to keep about a stack of the fuel rods. I don't want to be going through all of my iron at one point in time. Then we have the solid canning machine. And this guy here is going to be set up with a supplier pipe. And we need, well, let's just do this. 1 stack of the partial. There we go. Oh, pardon me, sneeze. It came out of nowhere, I swear. Okay. And then this should need a provider pipe. Now, that provider should sense that it needs to go to the canning machine, and we should get a stack. Good. No more, no less. Excellent. Alright, so the canning machine is pretty much geared and ready to go. The only thing that we need is the fuel rods in here. And for the fuel rods, actually, I wonder if there's a auto inject pulling upgrade. All automatically pulls from a side. Maybe we could try that upgrade. I'm a little hesitant on it. We already have the supplier. We could just put a provider pipe there and add fuel rods to that list. Maybe we'll do that instead. Like I said, I'm a little hesitant about keeping all of that separate and using those upgrades. I've kind of failed in the past with them. So let's get another provider pipe. Pretty straightforward overall. Good. And boom. Out. And that's going to go on there. Okay. So it should provide the fuel rods, and now the canning machine is operational. The canning machine is now making our uranium fuel cells. Fuel rods, sorry. Okay, so I have a bit more to set up across the board. We need to get some of our power situated as well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed up this process just a little bit. Drain out some of that power and get enough uranium cells so that I can fill up the guys down south, because all of our nuclear reactors are down at the moment. Okay, so I had to head on out to play some D&D with the guys here, and I just kind of left all this running as is. Now we do have 64 quad fuel rods. It's working as intended, exactly as it's set up here. Of course, we have the plates coming in, like so, and like so, iron and copper, and those are each going to a mini chest, obviously holding a stack. I've decided to storage bus these guys as well, so that we'll always kind of have a stack of plates in our system, and maybe more than a stack. So just kind of one of those fun little things that, you know, you can do and implement in your system. This guy over here is struggling though to get the fuel rods. As you can see in here, we have 64. We have another 3 stacks over there. So it's definitely struggling to get fuel rods above all else. We've cycled through all of our old uranium, so we're only using uranium that we get new now. So that is also a bit of a concern. We'll have to monitor how that all goes. Now, of course, I was driving over to my buddy's house, and I'm like, there's so many easier ways that I could do this. But it's one of those things. So, you know, not a huge deal or anything like that. We'll get it all figured out over time. But you know, it's one of those things. I could have done this all with translocators and made a much simpler and cleaner system. I may do it on my own and then just show you guys. It's a possibility. But, yeah, one of those things. So I'm actually going to change this guy to use stocked items now because these are stocked right here. So, by theory, these two should equal out anyways, all right? I wouldn't mind getting a few overclockers in there as well. Let's do that. I took them out of the other machines because really, now that we've worked through the entire cycle, there's not really a need to have overclockers in any of these because we're usually only going to be getting 1 or 2 uranium ore at this point in time at a time. So not really needing an overclocker in any of those. But these metal formers, I definitely would love to have overclockers in. Maybe not so much in this one, doing the fuel rods, because it's going to max out anyways. But the plates that we're going to be using all the time, definitely. I've also segregated off the inputs so that we don't get too many plates and not enough uranium in here. So anyways, I want to work through these 2 stacks of uranium, and I want to continually monitor this. I don't think we're getting enough uranium to keep this thing up and running forever and ever. So it's one of those things. The other thing that I want to do is I want to come into here and I want to disable out the copper and the iron because it's just not something that we're going to use now that we have the automated plates always in succession. So it's one of those items that we are going to, that's a dense iron plate? Yeah. We're going to remove it out of the crafting assembly. And I may end up going more that route with some of this IEC2 stuff than I do the auto crafting on command. Because, you know, certain things use the same blocks. Like I had to remove everything out of this because I was sending it to get plates and it was also sending it up here as well. So I was getting cables and plates. Well, a lot of good that does. By the way, to get rid of a pattern, just shift right click while you're moused over it and it becomes blank again so that you can reuse it yet again for anything else that may require it. Other than that, things are decently well. I've restocked a lot of stuff and we are kind of cruising, I think. I believe we've hit a lot of maximums though as well. We're getting very high up there, very high numbers across the board. Blaze rods have obviously been running. Coal is getting up there. There's a few upgrades that I wouldn't mind, you know, just kind of getting more of, if you know what I mean. So like this guy's getting way up there and a lot of upgrades. So I think what we need to look into is some Johnny Depp. That's right. No, some deep storage units for some of this stuff. And it's not too bad. We could definitely set these guys up with auto crafting across the board. So let's look at doing that right now. I'd like to get a few more blanks just in case we need them, like so. We also auto-crafted metal formers and a few other things, but for right now, let's look at auto-crafting the deep storage units. So obviously the hardest part here is the resonant energy cell frame. This guy's pretty straightforward though. We're just going to stick with the fused quartz. It's the easiest in my opinion to get. And the emerald and the enderium. Boom, already done that part. Good. The reinforced strong boxes, again, not too difficult. We could do this recipe right here. Yeah, let's do that one. Okay. And then to reinforce it, of course, is just more fused quartz. And for that, we're going to need one of those hardened strong boxes. So let's make one of those in our assembler here. Boom and boom. Okay, so strong box, please. Thank you. These guys are actually fantastic devices. They really are. You can actually improve them. You can do quite a few different things with it. So I highly recommend playing around with the strong boxes. They're kind of nice. You can put stuff in them, and then you can just kind of take them around with you, almost like a bag. It appears that our ME Our molecular assemblers are pretty much full, though, which is a little concerning. We should be able to get this last little bit done, though. Bucket of rocket fuel. I don't know if I want to autocraft this guy or not. Yeah, I don't know. We definitely can. But I think there's a lot of other parts here that are going to need auto-crafting as well. So I think I'm just going to make the plastic sheets separately. So right now we will do this. And we don't have any of it. Whoopsie. Okay, let's go to the strong box. We'll craft up. We'll do 4 of them right now because we can. And then we need the resonant energy cell frame. We'll craft up one of those as well. Okay, so now the deep storage should be possible. Boom, boom, nice. We have it all auto-crafted up. Very good. And that is our last spot. Oh, no, we have one more spot. Yes, awesome. So, let's see. We don't have a ton of plastic or plastic sheets. Let's look at getting some rubber done. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, let's do 7. And we'll just put these in this buffer right here. Like so. And this guy right here like so. That way they just keep buffering. And we're going to send rubber bars on through the system. And then from there we can make more of the raw plastic as well. Probably the fastest way that I know of how to do that for now. So we'll take those guys out, and I'm just going to run these over to the induction smelter. Still a few things manually being done here, so, you know, we're not quite there yet, but we might also take a bit of a little break from some of the auto crafting and stuff. We're going to put our glass and our rubber up in there. How are our drives doing, by the way? Oh boy. They are all getting items and all getting full as well. We are going to need an ME drive for sure. And I don't believe I have those auto-crafted yet. So that might take our last spot up, but probably a useful one. So we'll make another ME drive here. Pretty straightforward. And probably a few more 4K storage cells. I think is it 10 per? No. Okay, let's do just 5. I need to make some more logic processors. But we'll get those guys crafted up and install our drive system here. Just to keep things kosher. We do not want to have any issues whatsoever. Alright, we'll put this guy right like so. And that should now be active along with the other ones still. So we're good to go there. Remember, they connect and they power through one another. Alright, so there's our 5 drives. Good, and we can jump on down and put them in place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, good. So those are all online and ready to go as well. And as we go, we can improve those and expand on all of that kind of stuff as well. So, where are we at now? Great question. We are at a great little spot. Let's get our deep storage units crafted. We'll do 4, just like so. It's all available, and we're going to take the 4 that we want. And over here, I'm thinking we will do some of our deep storage setup. So let's just run a little... Uh-oh. See, I'm on a server now. It restarts. So I should probably set up some sort of a warning or something for that, am I right? Alright, but anyways, there's the other deep storage unit. As the world loads in, I usually get a little bit of terrible FPS. Oh god. That is so bad. Why is it at 8 or 9? My lord. Okay, that's better. It's finally loaded up. It's fine. No big deal. Alright, so the deep storage units are basically going to go over here. Now, some of these guys are like iron, for example. This is one of those that needs to go into a deep storage for sure. Now, there's certain things that you can also do. I think there's like item... You can do item frames, but I think there's something else. Is it from Bibliocraft, or maybe it's called like a card? I can't remember what it's called. Biblio? Maybe it's in here. I can't remember. Ah, labels. Yes. Labels are a wonderful thing. You can label your deep storage units if you so choose, so that you can kind of just pick and choose exactly what you want and need. And this is going to be progressively taking us away from the drawers even more. So all those little things, we'll get it all done in due time. I'm going to set these guys up with storage buses and move around a few things. Alright, so one of the ways that I like to do this with all of my storage buses and all that kind of stuff is I normally like to come over here and first of all put an import bus on them. Alright, now the import bus is strictly going to pull... Wait, not an import bus. Silly me. An export bus. I tell ya. Export. There we go. That's the guy I want. Basically, what it's going to do is it's going to pull everything that's in our ME system right now. So all 31,000 out of this drawer and put it into this deep storage unit, okay? Now, the reason that I do this is, for one, you want to get it out of your ME storage if it's clogging up some drives or a smaller drawer, all that kind of stuff. So we should see this increasing. Might I have you very, very slowly. But as we add a whole bunch of upgrades... Why is it not going fast? Why is it not going in? Do we need a piece of iron? Iron, please. Please work. So all the iron should be going in. Just like so. Okay. That's still going decently slow. Alright. Great. Well, this is only going to take a millennia. It's fine. No big deal. But basically, as this is going, it's continually pulling the iron from all the way over here and putting it into the deep storage unit all the way over here. Something that I don't have to do, and I can set it up automatically. Now, equally, other items, you know, like coal is another one that we're going to have just a ton of overall. So we're going to throw coal in there. What else are we going to have a lot of? We have a lot of tin, but still not enough to probably warrant a deep storage unit. Silver and lead, again, also up there. Pulverized coal is a thing for sure that we are running into. I know that we have tons of stone, but I don't know if I really need any more than that, if you know what I mean. Appetite. Appetite seems a little bit on the downgrade side. But, you know, it's all these little things that I need to kind of work towards here. But I'm not too worried about some of this stuff, actually. Like appetite, for example, we can just keep it over here. No problems whatsoever keeping that where it is. That is a problem. Okay, drawer. We'll do it this way. Boom. We'll go 4 times. Oh, really? We're out of sticks? Are you serious? Alright. Craft me 200 sticks, please. Thank you. Stupid sticks. Alright, good. We'll add that. But yeah, and just kind of slowly progress over to other things here. Soybeans really haven't gone up since we've made our cheeseburger farm, which I should actually check on as well. But overall, things are doing good. 1,200 diamonds. Whoa. That is nice. 6,000 Certus quartz dust. Okay. We are progressing. Tons of yellerite. Tons of yellerite. Okay. And iridium's still at 44. I don't think we've actually found any of that. Even if we did, not a huge deal. Blaze powder's pretty much maxed. Yeah. Things are coming along quite nicely in our inventories. We could do all of the mob drops as well in deep storage units and get them off the wall, as well as things like the shards or the infused stone of the shards that we're basically voiding at this point in time. Or actually, let's see, infused. Yeah, we're not voiding. It's starting to take up space in our drive systems. So, that little old thing. So there we go. We have all of the iron out of there. So now we can just break this. Simple as that. And instead, we can go over here. We shouldn't get any, I hope. We'll break this. We'll add a storage bus. Give it a priority of plus 100. And boom. That's where all of our iron is now going to be stored. So any iron coming into the system is going to be stored here. Any iron that's going to be leaving the system is also going to be here. Certain ones are leaving. I assume that is downstairs. Probably pulling some for this. Yeah, as we use it. Yeah, right there. Okay. Good. Perfect. But we've pretty much gone through all of our enriched nuclear. We are starting to backlog our fuel rods, which is exactly what I want to see. And look at all the uranium we have. Not bad. That's good enough for at least a couple cycles, which really makes me quite happy. But still a long ways to go. So, like I said, the iron's going to go out. The iron will come back in as well. Perfect. So I'm going to work on these deep storage units. Let's quickly jump on over and take a look to see how we're doing for our cheeseburgers. Yes, our bacon cheeseburgers, I should say. Boom. How are we doing? 29 stacks. Not bad. We don't have any cheeseburgers, though, but we have a lot of firm tofu. Okay. We have no cheese. We have 3,400 hamburgers, but no cheese. Okay, so that's telling me that our soy milk idea is a flop. That seems to be our holdup, our cheese, because we have tons of toast. We should actually have an overflow of wheat, which we do, and no tofu back here because we're still making hamburgers. But cheese is definitely the holdup. So I'm going to have to come up with a milk system. Probably milking a cow and all that jazz. But I think we'll leave that for next time. I think that's basically going to be about it for this episode. It might be a little bit on the shorter end, but it did take me quite some time to do all this automation stuff. So hopefully you guys liked it. Hopefully you enjoyed everything that we're still working on and working towards. New adventures. I definitely need to get back into the swing of things with some of the stuff like our Thumbcraft and our Blood Magic has kind of been neglected, as well as our Britannia. So, just some of that kind of stuff, but we'll get there right away. So, without further ado, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.